Good evening, Giselle. I'm pretty well, and you? Good evening, Adriana. Please, all of you have to show me some. So, and you have to show me some. Can you hear me, students?
Yes, teacher.
Good evening,
I can
Anna.
listen now. Fine, thanks. And you?
Pretty well. I'm ready to start with all of you. I need that all of you have webcams. Show me your webcams, my dear students. So this is a requirement for our final speaking exam. Giselle, please show me your webcam, and Felix and Crystal and Adriana. Good evening, Maria Paula. How are you?
Good evening. I'm freezing. I have my hat on and a hoodie and everything, and I'm freezing here.
The cold is, the weather is really cold nowadays, currently, at the end of the year. Good evening, Felix.
Good evening, teacher and classmates. How are you?
Pretty well. Crystal,
Fine.
please show me your webcam. So this is a requirement for our final speaking exam. Hello, Crystal.
Hello, teacher.
Okay. Adriana, good evening.
Good evening, teacher. How are you?
Pretty well. We are ready to start with all of you. I need that all the partners can be here, but I'm sending the invitation to give me a pair of seconds, my dear students. All of them can be here. It's nice show all your faces. It is really
Yes.
nice.
We look different at the picture.
Yes?
Yes, I think so.
It is really nice. Okay, my dear students. 40 minutes, we will start. Give me a pair of seconds. I'm sending the invitation to other. So all of them have to be here. While tell me something about Ariana. What are you doing lately? How is it going? Share with us.
I have been finishing my task for this for tomorrow because I have to deliver everything tomorrow. So I have been doing a lot of works and studies and all that kind of things.
Yes, all of us. A lot of
Yes.
for
Yes,
our
exactly.
and Anna.
Well,
Chegaste.
I did the same. Do some homework for tomorrow as well.
Yes. Please show me your webcam. Carlos.
Good evening, teacher. How are you?
Carlos.
Good evening, teacher.
Diana. Welcome.
Hi. Hi, Tudor. How are you?
We're ready to start. Just waiting for you. Carlos. Okay. So I guess that we can start right now. The terms will be the following. Will be Adriana, second Anna, third you, Viviana, fourth Carlos, fifth Crystal, sixth Eli, and last will be Maria Paula. Let's start with the interaction relative the video. Tools will is the creativity. Ayana, please start.
Okay. So after to watch the video, I think that the schools doesn't have the complete default of the loss of creativity in the students. I think it's the approach that we give to the intelligence. We used to think that an intelligent person is someone who can calculate a lot of numbers very fast, or someone who learned a lot of language in a couple of years, or maybe someone who can make discoveries and understand perfectly the phenomena of science, physics, and chemistry. But that's wrong. According to the arguments exposed by Ken Robinson, an intelligent person also is who can design choreographies, theaters, paints, and another kind of things. So we have to remember that creativity is an expression of the intelligence. Creativity is the process of having original ideas that have value. So if we consider that just the ideas related with math, science, and economic have value, that's when we are killing creativity. Every idea is good and every idea can be excellent. So if we want to boost the creativity, we have to refocus our definition of intelligence, because intelligence is diverse, is dynamic, and is distinct, as Ken say in the video. Okay, that's all.
Yes, yes, good explanations, Adriana. Anna, please give to all of us your main ideas about the video.
Okay. According to the video, do school kill creativity? The creativity is as important as literacy, and we should treat it with the same status. Every education system on earth has the same hierarchy of subjects. At the top are mathematics and language, then humanities, and at the bottom are the arts. Our education system is predicted on the idea of academic ability, and there is a reason around the world. There were no public systems of education before the 19th century. They all came into being to meet the needs of industrialism. So the hierarchy is rooted on two ideas. First, that the most useful subjects for work are at the top, and the second is academic ability, which has really come to dominate our view of intelligence, because the universities design the systems in their imagine. But we know the intelligence is diverse because we think about the world in all the ways that we experience it. It's dynamic because if you look at the interaction of a human brain, intelligence is interactive. The women have the power to be interactive because women can do many things at the same time. And it's distinct because we all have different abilities and we need to find them. Creativity is the process of having original ideas that have value, often comes about through the interaction of different disciplinary ways of seeing things. What we do know is if you are not prepared to be wrong, you'll never come up with it original. That's all, teacher.
That's all, Anna.
Yes.
Us, good reflections. So, Viviana, this is your turn. Viviana, you are mute. Please resolve the trouble.
Do you hear me now?
Yes.
Hello. Okay. Well, the video was very interesting because they were talking about the creativity. They were he was talking about children. That children are extraordinary because they are very creative, curious, and creativity is very important in the education. Is as important as math, literature, languages. And he was telling a story about a little girl who was drawing God, and that was funny. That made me remember a story, The Little Prince, that I was reading because children are very creative, and children are not afraid of making mistakes or being wrong. They just try and they use creativity to have the moment. In education, in the education system, in every education system all over the world, children are punished for making mistakes. That's why we became that way. We lost our creativity. We lose the capacity of being creative because the education system, they prepare people for education in the university and for specific jobs. But today there aren't jobs enough for everyone because there are too many people in the world. The population is very high. So we need creativity, intelligence to have original ideas to be prepared for this changing world. So that was the main idea of the video. We have to be creative to be prepared for the changing world.
Yes, you're right. Yes, Carlos, please.
Okay, teacher. Uh, the summaries related to the video, do schools kill the creativity? In the video, the children have a huge capacity for innovation, and creativity is as important in education as literacy. So you have to treat it with same respect. Many had a great interest in education as its tool with which we are the future. Children who begin their education not we now will be retiring to the decade of 2060. The education is based on preparing children and young people for the future, but we have no idea of how the world will be in next 5 years and assumes that we are educating them for it. Children are not afraid to be wrong. Clear that being wrong is not the same as being creative, but if we are not prepared to be wrong, we will never acquire something original. When children become adults, they are afraid to make mistakes, reach a world that estimates errors in educational system work with the idea that mistakes are the worst thing you can do. All educational systems on earth have the same hierarchy of subjects. Add to that are mathematics and language, then the humanities, and at the bottom are the arts. That's all, teacher.
That's all, Carlos. Thank you.
Thank you, teacher.
I want to remind you that the second part of this virtual final speaking exam, it will be carried out with questions each other. So you had to prepare an interview for 2 or 3 partners. You have to do your questions to your partner select. Your questions, Carlos?
For my partners. Yes, teacher.
Also, in the second part. Crystal, Crystal,
Okay, I read. Main,
continue.
the main idea.
Can you continue,
The
Crystal?
video.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
You're so much regarding the video.
Okay. Yeah. Of the video is about how schools end up with the creativity of children,
Yes.
regardless of the school in which they study. Hierarchy said, and it is believed that Spanish and mathematics are more important. Housing from the first years of age that children think be artists, musicians, mistake. In addition, it is thought that children with attention deficit who are and hyperactive are sick. So they are very intelligent people who can do what they want. Artist trait. It helps us. However, want to progress must be creative. Many times a good business start is a crazy idea. Nobody thought would become. That's why I think there are no bad ideas. Our wish. And the idea is to put in that's all, teacher.
Please to resolve your trouble with your mic because your sound is interrupting. So please try to resolve the trouble with your mic. Thank you. Felix, can you continue? Are you ready? Felix, are you ready? It's your turn, Felix, please.
My summarize is that is this tools kill creativity. In this talk, Ken Robinson talks about education kill children's creativity. This author highlight all children born like artists with some abilities or skills. For example, they don't have fear to make mistakes or being wrong. they can wonder and question and do it wrong. Uh, uh, Adults, we lost. For him, for Robinson, creativity is the same important to literature. We was the most value in the education of the past century for answer the need of industry. But for Robinson, schools kill creativity education which is offered for an industrial society. Schools in world of these conferences are like a factory, a change of production that produces human resources for industry. In these schools, there are hierarchy wherein top or the most important subjects are math and language. And in this place excludes subjects important like arts, like dance, paint, singing, and others, and humanities. Robinson thinks arts and humanities have the same important than math and language. That's it, teacher.
Yes, you're right. The other subjects importance. So the human behavior has a lot of areas. Giselle, uh, interact with all of us because this is your turn.
My ideas of the video are the following.
You
The
like
creativity
about the
human
video?
is very particular. It's different and unique. For example, the children are not she and they risk. The adults are will encourage that is not possible. In the world is very equal. The school subject and the first because is more important to teach mathematics technical. What other school subjects for incentive the creativity, the children, the painting and the arts incentive the town, but the government could budget and the school subject is affect is the sense. The intelligent, dynamic, interactive, your ideas, but the adults very little will use it. The young and adults so much technology. It facilitates things, but people are more lazy. Finish to share.
Thank you. The last part is interesting relative the technological tools. It will be important to take off sometimes the cell phones, the computer, and try to pay attention only to the human interaction. Because, in my personal opinion, this is most human direct interaction than the technological tools. Thank you, Giselle. Maria Paula, please, this is your turn.
Okay, so my summarize about the video is the conference was in Monterey, California in 2006, and it was leading by Sir Ken Robinson. The first three main points he mentioned was that there's a evidence of extraordinary human creativity and that we don't have any idea of what is going to happen in the future. And that's why we all are interested in education, because that's what gave us the answers. And third, the extraordinary capacity children have for innovation. Said that if kids don't know how to solve a problem, they will improve and they will create a way to solve their problems because they're not afraid of being wrong. If you're not prepared to be wrong, you'll never come up with anything original, as my partner said before. He said that the problem is that when we grow up, we lost that capacity because we're afraid of being wrong. That's what all the adults and all the education systems are thoughting to us. He mentioned a quote by Picasso. It is, all children are born artists, but the problem remains artists as we grow up. And he states three things about intelligence. Intelligence, it's diverse, it's dynamic, and it's distinctive. He said that if a tree falls in the middle of the forest, well, that was a joke. If a tree falls in the middle of the forest and no one hears it, does that mean that it really happened? It's the same with intelligence. So we have to rethink the principles on which we're educating our children, because we need to educate the whole being so they can face this future. We may not see this future, but they will. So the job of us as teachers is to help them to make something of this world we are living in. So if we are fearless, we'll be more creative. We don't have to fear of being wrong. We just have to try. We have what we need to have. That's all.
Yes, the conclusion. I'm totally in agreement with your conclusion. So, interview that you prepared the time before, the terms will be that in the contrary way. Maria Paula, second Giselle, third Felix, be Adriana. Start, Maria Paula.
Okay. I have prepared three questions. So can I just ask them to anyone, and the one who wants to answer me, well, can answer me? Or do I have to choose?
Yes, you have to choose your partners before. So it was an indication, instruction. Yes, from 2 or 3 partners to aleatory.
Okay. So I choose Anna.
Okay.
Anna, do you have any talent like you consider is your one of your abilities?
Mm. Well, I think my ability is I'm a good cooker. I like cooking and I invite receipts. So I don't follow the normal receipts. I change products for doing a new recipe.
Okay, and what age did you discover you were good at cooking?
When my son was a child, because I did many recipes for him, and from that time, I discovered that I'm a good cooker.
Okay. Was there any time that someone said to you that you couldn't cook?
Yes, my mother, when I was young.
But was it like you couldn't or you shouldn't?
She said that I couldn't because when I was young, I only do things from clean the house or that's it, but nothing for the kitchen. And she always said to me, you never cook very well.
Okay, okay, I understand. That's all. Thank you, Ana.
Thank you, Maria Paula.
My next partner will be Carlos.
Yes, yes, partner.
Do your parents told you when you were a child that you weren't good at something that you should? For example, you should be good at maths or at science, but you weren't?
I don't hear you. Can you repeat me, please, the question?
Do your parents ever told you that you weren't good enough at something when you were a kid?
When I were a kid, boy,
Yes.
that, what, what partner? When I was a kid, I can't hear you. Can you
When
repeat me?
yes, when you were a kid, did your parents told you that you weren't good enough at doing something? For example, you weren't good at math or at science or anything like that?
Okay. When I was a child, I like to study the social sciences. My my parents tell me that that the geography and the history was my hobbies to collect maps, and for that the social sciences was, and still now is I like to study this.
And do you ever think about stop studying what you like because of what your parents told you?
Carlos, please
Can you
answer.
repeat me? Can you repeat? I can hear you clearly.
Do you ever think about stop doing what you like because of what your parents told you?
No, I don't think that I can stop my study. When I talk with my parents, I talk about the future and the importance to the study. Uh, I don't know everything, but we can to improve every day. Maybe today I can understand you very well, but maybe tomorrow I can do it. The important to talk is to improve every day.
Yes, that's all, Carlos. Thank you.
Thank you.
Um, Teacher, do I have one more partner, right? Or just two of them?
Um, just two of them because the time is running out.
Okay,
Maria Paula.
okay, thank you.
Giselle, please continue with your interviews. Plus two or three partners. Not only two because the time is running out.
Teacher, my question is Adriana. Which are the school subjects more difficult for you?
Uh,
Um,
Okay. For me, it always was very difficult, the sports. I think that was like the only one that was difficult for me because I never have been a good sport person. But I never had problems with any one of the another subjects. I always was good in math, chemistry, language, science, all that kind of things. I was very good in all of them. I was bad, really, really bad in the sports. Um, that's all like the only subject which I have to struggle so much to get a good or not a good job, like a regular job to pass the subject.
Giselle, please, can you continue with
Uh, other teacher, my question is for Anna. Anna,
Anna?
Yes.
do you agree, disagree in teach art in the school?
You please repeat the question, please.
Do you agree or disagree in teach art in the school?
To teach art at the school.
Yes.
Okay. I'm agree. I think this subject is very important for all the kids and instead the adults because we need to improve talent or maybe the teachers or the school can help to discover any talent. Maybe if you are a child or if you are an adult.
Thank you. My question is for Felix. What teacher you remember?
Um, I remember a teacher of elementary school. His name is Juan Jose because he was an excellent teacher. Um, he, I saw on him he teach very happy. He can he could transmit or teach a lot of subjects with happy with um, how do you say alegría?
joyful,
What teacher?
joyful happiness.
Ah, yes, I remember he enjoy he enjoyed teach a lot of things, and this was a very precedent.
Okay.
Thank you, Felix teacher. Don't más question. No more question.
Okay. Thank you, Giselle and Felix. Felix, please continue with your interviews.
Okay. Viviana, would be a teacher of elementary school. what subject would you like teach?
Well,
Or,
I
or
I would like to teach English because English is my favorite subject. And in English, you can do many things. It's not just to teach a language or to teach letters. You can use your creativity and enhance the children's creativity. For example, you can play, you can sing, you can do sport, and you can do many, many, many activities while teaching a subject. In this case, well, I would like to teach English.
thanks, baby. Christelle, what do you think is intelligence? How we look this ability or a skill?
Crystal, please.
I don't understanding your question.
Christelle, for you, what do you think is intelligence? For you, what is intelligence?
Okay. Person intelligence is which is a capacity for express your idea and defense it uh, has the ability for the many things that your purpose. For example, that person is intelligent for mathematics, not to draw. That not to say that the other person that is better for the draw, that not intelligent. Uh, I think that and your skills or abilities don't to say more or less intelligent one's other.
Okay, Crystal, thanks. Okay, the last question. The last question is for um, um, for you, which is the most important subject, math or humanities?
Yeah, please. Giselle. Giselle, are you there?
Yes, teacher.
Gis-
I'm not listening for uh, uh,
Okay,
all
okay.
uh,
The question is that in your um, um, in your life, for you, what is the most important subject? Math.
uh, I think more important for two school subject are very important. Different oh, the people to understand the four different the life or the school subject. Uh, very people uh, how would you explico? Me explico. Are different. Very people do understand the school subject force. For me, the school subject hold todas son importantes.
That's all.
Yes,
That's all.
tutor. Yes, tutor.
Okay. Felix, do you have another question or not?
Teacher, I don't have more questions.
Okay, thank you. Crystal, please continue. Crystal? Crystal?
Very, very slow. Okay. My first question is Carlos. Do you think that not being creative is one of the main causes of little progress in society? Now, if we see that the neighbor sells something or has a little business, but we do not try to invent something to create what is ours.
No, I can hear you clearly. Can you repeat me, please?
Your sound is with a strange noise, with an interference, with an interruption. Please, Carlos, your questions and slowly so you can get your question.
Okay.
Yes, maybe, Viviana.
Generally, if we see that the neighbors sells something, little business, we only copy it, but we don't try to invent something.
Sorry, Crystal. It's the same situation. Please, write by chat. Write by chat your question,
Okay,
Carlos.
do you think that not being creative is one of the main causes of little progress in society?
Maybe you can write it on the chat.
Write it by chat.
Write it, please.
Please write.
One moment.
Like Crystal is ready.
Okay. All right.
question, Crystal.
Okay, I think that creativity is very important at the development of the children because the creativity is to possibility to improve the listening, the speaking, the many activities that the boys or the children can to show to the people and learn and teach, learn to the from the teachers and teach to the same teachers. The creativity is is the is the most important thing that the children have to do. Maybe nowadays there isn't enough creativity at the classrooms, and there are little little possibilities to share that creativity on other children, on other child. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Crystal, please continue.
Okay,
So,
my second question is from Adriana. Do you think that creativity is more or less important than literacy or equal important?
Okay, I think that have the same importance in the education process, at least for me. I mean, when we are teaching a person, we're trying that person like have a balance in the knowledge, like not just acquire the knowledge, but also can apply them in the real life. So if we don't have uh, both of them, creativity and literacy in a equal amount in our knowledge, it's not gonna be like a good learning process because we need both of them at the same yeah, like at the same level. So for me, they have to be equally in the teaching process.
Crystal, you have another question?
No, teacher, that's all.
Okay, thank you. Carlos, please continue with your interviews to your partners. It's your turn.
Okay, teacher. Uh, the first question for the interview is from Ana Isabel. Ana Isabel, which do you think is the main objective in your life? Which do you think is the main objective in your life?
Well, at the moment, my main objective is to finish my bachelor degree in English. I put everything for doing it very well.
Okay. My next question from the interview is for Adriana. Adriana, how do you think you can contribute to the growth and the education of the children? I repeat, how do you think you can contribute to the growth and the education of the children?
That's a really interesting question, Carlos. And I think that as a future teacher, that's like my best way to contribute to the education and the right route of the children. I think that not just to be a teacher, it's also like be a good teacher. Maybe trying to um, be focused and understand that the kids are singular and have like their own taste. So not just transmit them the knowledge about a specific language or about a specific skill. Also try to connect that with their own experience, with their own desires, because as teachers, sometimes I have seen that we forget that it's not just be in a classroom and listen and write and make exercise about the lesson. We just focus in that part, but we forget that it's not just that, it's also connect that knowledge with our real life, with our taste, our likes, our goals. So I mean, I think that that's like a good way to contribute with our society in the terms of the growth and the education of the children.
Okay, thank you. And my last question is for Viviana. Viviana,
Carlos, please give me a pair of seconds, a couple of seconds. I need to do something, but I can I come back right now. Give me a second.
okay, teacher.
Partners, I'm sorry. I would like it my song is more clear.
Yes, I hear you, Cristo.
More clear or
Clearer, yeah.
is same?
Yeah, it is clear.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, Carlos, please continue.
Okay, teacher. The last question was for Viviana. Viviana, what scene is your main attribute to be used in a development of a class? What scene is your main attribute to be used in the development of a class?
Well, the main attribute could be
Yes, attribute.
creativity, because when you have creativity, you can prepare a class that is interesting, that motivates students, that make them learn. So you open a way for them to learn. It's not just put the students, they do exercises, writing, and do the same thing every day, because that kills the motivation. They get bored. So the creativity in preparing classes and to prepare different activities every day, uh, make them be more interested, more motivated to learn. I think that's very important in a class.
Okay, thank you. That's all, teacher.
Okay, thanks a lot, Carlos. And now it's Viviana's turn. Diana, please activate your mic.
All right. Okay, my first question is for Paula, Maria Paula. Do you remember something about your creativity when you were a child? For example, a funny moment.
Um, Not a funny moment, but it was a really good one. I love creativity. I love to paint and to like do it yourself things. And when I was in in eighth grade, I was in my art class and we were painting um, like the typical, like the food and the grapes and the glass and everything. And mine was really good, so the teacher chose my my paint to exhibit on the school exposition. So I think it was really good.
Okay, thank you. So you are good at drawing.
Yeah, I
Okay,
am.
very good. Okay, my next question is for Anna. Okay, Anna, we are we are studying we are studying here to be teachers. So we don't want to kill our students' creativity. What do you think is the way to enhance creativity at school?
Well, I think to improve creativity at the school is let the if we are kids, let them have imagination
Yeah.
for everything, and I think it's a good way to improve creativity.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, no more questions, please.
Diana, and now it's Anna's turn.
Okay, teacher. Okay. The interview is for Maria Paula. Maria Paula, do you think that schools kill creativity and why?
I think it depends on the school, but almost the more than half of schools do. Well, no, I think not nowadays, but they used to, because they're like strict with the content, and it's always like as the uh, always maths and always literacy and always social studies and science, and and there's like they left behind the arts, and not just the arts, but the change to let the student express themselves. We are always to answer what others want us to answer, not what we would answer.
Yes,
So
that's right.
I think it does.
Yes. And do you think that change our education system will be helpful for our children? For our children. Sorry.
Yes. Also, I think we need to improve our like our educational laws and give the kids more opportunities to study. With the, how do you say, like with the payments of the schools, there's so many kids that don't have the chance to go to a school, so they just like learn how to be adults and how to be responsible for themselves, but they're not learning like anything meaningful for them. So I think we really need to change like the whole system.
Yes. And do you think teachers help children to be creative?
um I think now there are plenty of good teachers out there, and like time changes, because I know from my mom, like teachers used to be really strict and to hit them with rules and everything if they didn't learn something. And that's one of the things that I like. The time changes, like teachers are more no like understand more the kids and try to help them with their own needs, not like a group but by individuals.
Yes. Thank you, Maria Paula.
Yeah, thank you, Anna.
My next interview is for Adriana.
Doriana, I would like to
Yeah.
give my opinion on something important. The personal necessities of children. Treatment, give them a treatment like individuals. Really important. The Ministry of Education, Colombia, doesn't per this situation, so give to teacher groups with 40 or 35 students, and it is really difficult, really hard personal process be our country for the budget issues. Teacher can it is the bad reality, best option. Personal education. This is sad, but this is the bad reality. In my personal, 34, 35 students, I give them a personality education.
I would like to say something too. Um, for example, I know that it is very difficult to teach 40 or 35 students, but sometimes teachers do the same things every day. They just make the student read, make the student write, make the student repeat, so they don't make them think. For example, if they are in a science class or a social class, they're talking, for example, about economy or whatever, teachers could ask students about the situation in their neighborhood, for example. What happened in your neighborhood? What is the situation there? What do you think it could be a solution for that problem or something like that? It's not just to be stick to the book, stick to the system, because sometimes I know sometimes teachers don't have the freedom to do what they want to do because the school principal is there telling them what to do, when to do, and that kind of thing. But sometimes there are teachers that they have some kind of freedom to do things, and they don't. They just still stick to the books and to the system. We all are studying to be teachers, and we make a critic to that situation, but when we are there teaching, we have to change that. That's what I think.
Viviana, for your opinion, but yes, this is a bad situation. A quality education, Finlandia, finance, we have 15 or 12 students in the classroom. In this way, the classes are seen and with a lot of practice, but to try. We have to try to improve. Lot. Please, Anna, continue.
Okay, teacher. My next interview is for Adriana. What do you think that, no, sorry, what do you need to be creative?
Sorry, the question is what I need to be creativity? Yes?
No, yes, but it's personal. What do you think, sorry, what do you need to be creative? It's an opinion.
Okay. Yes. In my case, I think that I will need good resources and tools because nowadays the kids are more interested in things like technology or nature sometimes. So maybe it will be have the ability to connect the topics with tools and resources that the students like. I have experience about that because in the classes that I give, sometimes the students ask me if they can watch or videos or things related to the topic, but like in environments or with resources that they like technology, movies, songs, things like that. So I think that that will be the things that I need to be creative, like good resources, good tools that not just are connected with the knowledge or with the topics of our subject, that also like to the students.
Adriana. And the last question is, do you think children are more creative than adults, and why?
Yeah, of course. I think that as adults, we are more interested in other things, and we are like all the time very worried and busy and thinking in the money, in the job, in our careers. So, but the kids not. They are thinking in to explore the world, understanding, and for them is like easier. So they have like more imagination and let them to explore it. But adults not. We're like more focusing on other things, and as in the video said, the kids doesn't have the problem with mistakes or feel worried about what the people say or how the people react about something. So maybe that's why the kids are more creative than the adults.
Yes, and they think that all are possible. Everything is possible for
Yes,
them. Mm,
yes, but as adults we know that
yes.
that's not true.
Thank you,
Yes.
Adriana. That's all, teacher.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Anna. Good interviews for your partners. Thank you. Thank you so much. And now is the last turn, Adriana's turn.
Okay. My first question is for Maria Paula. Do you consider that you have any talent?
Um, yes, as I was saying a little bit before, I'm really good with the the creative side of me. I'm really good at it's called DIY, do it yourself. So I'm always like drawing or creating something if I don't have for example, last week I made this little box to make to have my makeup organized with the box of a pizza. So I always do like, so I think that's one of my talents.
Oh, that's pretty good. Okay. My next question is for Crystal. Crystal, how do you learn easier?
Sister, please.
Repeat, please.
Yes, of course. Um, For you, how is easier to learn?
Okay, for me, it's more easier to learn um, mathematics. Really, I like to study the other career, uh, public account, and for because it's really really good for the numbers, for the mathematics, the uh, count or calculo, and because the art is or painting or and uh, perhaps like not I nor think dancing bad and worse not. That's all.
Okay. Okay. My next question is for Diana. Uh, what do you think is the principal way to learn that the students usually use?
The principal way to learn is by doing. For example, if you want to learn English, you have to speak, you have to practice that. Because if you are only studying grammar or if you are only reading or listening, you're not gonna um, have the skills that you need for conversation, for real interaction. So that's the more important thing in learning is doing. In every kind of any kind of subject that you want to learn, you have to learn by doing. That's the principal way to learn, I think.
Okay, yeah, that's right. But I mean, in your students that you have in your work as teacher, what have you seen? How is the principal way or yeah, like way that the students use to learn? For example, I have seen that some of them prefer to listen, another prefer to read, another prefer to work collaborative, another prefer to work
Okay.
alone. What have you seen in your students?
Well, students are different and they have different ways to learn. But nowadays, they prefer to watch. If you show them a video with a song or with something like story, uh, they became more interested because now they are in the technology era. So that's why they prefer to watch videos and they learn also by playing games. Sometimes I used to make them play a game and they became very interested and they learn a lot.
Yes, that's totally right. Okay, my last question is for Felix, and is if you could have the opportunity to put in practice your own educational system, how will be your principal approach in your educational system?
Dear Adrian, I don't think the first part of the question.
Okay, I'm gonna repeat it. Um, if you could have the opportunity to put in practice your own educational system, what will be the approach of that system? Like, the principal objective of that system.
Mm, I wonder. I wonder. I have a great opportunity if I teach Spanish for foreign learners. I think this is a good opportunity and approach to put in practice about this language. I know a lot of people who master English and they are working teaching Spanish for foreign people. And for this, we need to know English is an important tool to explain some things about the Spanish for these people.
Okay, okay. That's all, teacher.
Okay, thanks a lot. Before to leave, my dear students, I would like that you try to answer me the following question. Please try to remember the most exciting situation at your school age. Which was the most exciting situation at your school age? So who wants participate? Who wants interact relative that? Do you remember? Anna, do you remember your most exciting situation at your school age?
Well, I don't remember because it was long time ago.
Why?
Because I finished my high school 25 years ago. So it was a long time.
Okay. It doesn't matter. Anna, do you remember your exciting situation at your school age?
The most exciting situation. Well, the most exciting situation was when I had a history teacher and he was very scary. When he came to classroom, all of us became very nervous. He always used to ask questions, oral questions, and everybody was nervous, and that was a very exciting situation, but in a bad way.
Right. Okay, thank you. Well, do you remember your most exciting situation, Giselle?
I remember a situation in school or my sister, the partners, ¿cómo se dirá? La encerraron in the salon de class y my sister is claustrophobia. my sister, glass of green, the t-shirts, la, ay, ¿cómo se desmayó? Yes, my sister, y fue, en experiencia terrible.
What
Sí,
about the
teacher.
experience for her? Oh, what a shame.
Very bad.
Maria Paula, do you remember something about the most exciting situation at your school age?
I'm trying to choose one because I had a really great time at my high school. Um, my high school was indeed really like supportive to sports and arts. So we all have um, this big auditorium to our music class with all the instruments you wanted to play. So there was this time at we prepare a Christmas show, and we were about to play like an act, like a theater, and the teacher told us he had a surprise for us. And there's this Colombian band called The Whole Effect, and they just pop up from nowhere and start playing like a concert. It was really, really exciting.
Mm, yes, it will. It will be. Thank you. Mm, I would like to listen, Felix. Felix, do you remember your most exciting situation at your school age?
This was a lot of time ago because I
Like that.
uh, finished 17 years ago. I remember that in school we I and my classmates escaped from class and are going to play or video games. Um, in a opportunity, my father and my parents know this and knew this, and they gave me a good punishment,
Mm,
and
obviously.
in order
Very exciting.
and in other occasion I replace to my parents, and I carry out my brother a la entrega de notas. I don't know how do you say a la entrega de notas. Suplanté a mis padres.
The final
Oh.
reports.
Yes, my brother paid me to that supplantation.
What?
Yes, it it produced a great quarrel here in my house.
Mm. Okay, thank you. Okay, my dear students, that's all. I want to give thanks to all of you. This is the end of our virtual encounters, and you so much to all of you. So a really huge pleasure to be with all of you, my dear students, and I hope to see you again in another opportunity, in other opportunities, my dear students. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much, Tudor. Have a great vacation and Happy New Year.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you, teacher.
Thank you so much, teacher.
Yeah. Happy holidays. Happy holidays.
Happy New Year. Merry Christmas.
Thank you.
Thanks, teacher and
Yeah.
classmate. Thanks, teacher and classmate.
Blessings
Happy
to you, my blessings to all of you.
Yes.
Bye bye.
For
Bye.
all your patience. Bye.
Bye. Bye.
You're welcome, and it was
Bye.
really a
Bye. Take care, love. Bye.
Bye.
my students. Bye bye.
Okay, teacher.
Bye.
Thanks for everything and bye-bye.
Bye, teacher. Thank you.